Hi everyone, welcome to my next episode of my podcast on communicate, to write, to listen, and to speak. Today I'm going to speak about a very important output. How do you create an annual report? I believe it's very important at this time of the year when many organizations, institutes, corporate actually start publishing or creating their annual report for the year. So let me start at the beginning. What is an annual report? In today's context, an annual report has become an important communication material or tool. So how does one start developing an annual report? To begin with, I strongly believe one should see the storyboard, visualize how the output should look. Should it be a soft copy or a hard copy? What are the graphs? What are the images? What are the photographs? And most important, what content should one include into making an annual report an effective communication tool? I also believe that the production should include a very systematic approach. So to start with, what is it that you or your organization want to showcase? How and why will you do this? If you have an answer for this, I think things can be pretty easy. Now, I'm going to speak about how and what does this entail. So what does it entail? A well-planned production strategy helps in bringing out an effective and useful annual report. So the first thing is identify the primary audience. In my experience and my opinion, I've always felt the primary audience is people from within the organization or institute. You may ask why. My answer is, if the people in the organization do not believe or understand what has taken place, there are little chances of people or external audience understanding what are you trying to project or what are the activities that you've done. I also would recommend that an annual report actually goes out as a communication material and it is used by the public very often. The next thing is, there are two primary reasons for why an internal audience is required to accept it. The first thing is, once they accept it, it brings in ownership and productivity. In most cases, as I've already mentioned, the employees become the primary audience. Then comes the external audience, who could typically be your funder, government officials, or mandatory compliances, or anyone who would like to see, because normally a lot of annual reports are either uploaded onto a website or a printed copy is sent out to people. In fact, a lot of, in my experience again, a lot of people who want to join the organization or know the organization do come and look at the annual report on the website and then try to understand what is happening. Because like I said, an annual report gives you a complete gamut of what happens, who are the people, what were the achievements, what are the new trends, etc., etc., etc. So the other approach I have is try to involve team leads, vertical heads to prepare an annual report. For example, you might pose some questions to them asking them, what is the best thing that happened in your vertical or in your team in the previous year? Were there new funders? Were there new ideas? Were there some publications? Were there some new people that you met or something? Anything that is novel, not run of the mill. I usually use this as a wow factor in the thing. Collectively, then I say, in the last year, the organization was able to achieve, get, receive awards, blah, blah. So Once you've collected information from different verticals, analyze the information. Try to support the information with some data like images, quotes from external stakeholders, graphs, high resolution photographs, comments, anything that will enhance or validate what you're trying to say in your annual report. The next important thing is you need to bring in readability and consistency. So ensure that the color schemes that you use are uniform. The type of fonts that you use are uniform. Try to highlight important information using a box which is highlighted or colored or in a different font, but don't make it too very jazzy. A professional approach always attracts the reader and the audience to look at and read your annual report. I then request you to share the first cut within the organization. Take the feedback positively, incorporate it, and then you can decide whether you're going to print it online or offline. I would like to conclude with a couple of things like I usually do. The first thing is always learn from mistakes and say, I want to do better. So the tips is start collecting information right at the beginning of the year. What I used to do is I used to have a folder which said, for example, annual report 2025. Then I would have appropriate subfolders, for example, events, quotes, comments, visits, publication, and start pushing in the important information by writing a few lines about it. Once you have created that and segmented the thing, it becomes very important and actually easy to put together the annual report. There have been initially experiences where I have waited the last minute and brought out actually a shoddy job or an incomplete job. So the first thing is key points to remember is identify the type of information and audience. Define the purpose of your annual report. Compliance, funders request, showcase your activities or just a general document. Decide on the mode of communication and dissemination. Create a storyboard and of course start working. While I was reading about how to produce this podcast, something popped up in my mind and I tried to expand the initials ANNUALREPORT. So what I came up with is A, ensure accuracy. New, let your annual report be a new type of document, bring in novelty. Next N, it should be navigable. Readers and audience should not be running and searching for information. U, make it an unusual and vivid document. A, make it acceptable. L, liked by all. R, readable. E, it should be edited well. P, presented well. O, organized in a very nice structured way. R, referable if people want to get back to refer to what happened the previous year. And the last T, textualized. Use simple language. Don't make it heavy text with jargons, because an annual report, as I've already started this podcast saying, it's an important communication tool if you have designed, written in a way that a common man will also be able to understand. I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as I enjoyed sharing my thoughts and experience on developing an annual report. I look forward to your comments, feedback, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.